to the Beauty Birds podcast. Go.
Hi there, and welcome back to the Beauty Birds podcast. We're your birds, Tara and Beka.
Yes, we are.
Talk about shit we like. But first, Tara, what is on your face today? And please tell me what you're drinking, because we have been laughing a lot in the first 5 seconds of recording.
Water. But it's been a heck of a night so far. And then on my face, I have a classic, which is the NARS pencil in Cruella, which was like a point perk, I want to say like 2 years ago. And it's just like a perfect blue.
So great on you.
Thank you. It's like I think it's my perfect red. It's like a really good blue undertone red.
Yeah, you rock that.
So, yeah. Thanks. I never wear it because I always forget, because I have so many liquid lipsticks that I'm just like, I don't know, I toss this one aside, but God, I love it. And then the e.l.f., I just got this in my little birthday haul from them. It's their multi-stick in Radiant Bronze is the other thing that I was really excited about. I kind of used it as like a blushy bronze mush on my face. I don't know. I kind of like welded that theory all together.
Well, it looks really cute, and now I kind of want to go check out the e.l.f. website.
I love them. I have like 3 of these. What's on your face, and what are you drinking?
I'm also just drinking water. However, I did have a beverage earlier after dinner. Trader Joe's now has a thing called lemon peel, but it's P-E-A-L. I don't know. It's basically like Colt 45 with lemon juice.
I don't know how I missed that was from Trader Joe's.
It says like, it's like 5%. It's malt beverage with lemon juice, but it's really good. I think, sorry, please still sponsor us, but I think it might taste better than White Claw or Truly. What's on my face?
You know what? Truly's really good.
I do like Truly. I especially like the tropical ones. However, funny that you are wearing a lipstick pencil situation today, because so am I. Somebody literally asked me earlier today what my favorite lipstick is, and I said I generally always prefer liquid lipsticks. However, this is one of the Laura Mercier Velour Extreme Matte Lipstick. I don't know why the name is so long. It's in the color Chill. It's like this cool purple shade.
It looks really good on you.
It looks a little bit washed out on my camera. Maybe it's because my like mirror light is behind me or behind my laptop, but it's a bit deeper in person. I quite like it.
So excited. I know you're excited about this because we are doing the palette tag.
I'm a little nervous, actually.
Oh, it's gonna be
I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. So this was started, I think, originally Samantha March and Allie Glines. However, admittedly, have not watched their tag videos. I watched Lauren May's.
Yeah, I saw Lauren May's too.
So we'll link to all 3 of them.
All right. Do you want to start with question 1?
I want to preface this by saying that single shadows are not included in this. Right. However, we decided that the melt stack format does count as a palette for the purposes of this tag.
I think it counts as a palette because it was sold as a collection.
Yeah, that's fine. So the first prompt question, whatever, is show your newest palette.
Okay, do you want to start?
No, but I will. Melt Gemini, which is, some of you might know, Tara knows, I actually bought this. I sold it to my sister. I made it about a year, and then I bought it again. And now I'm forbidden on pain of death from Tara to sell it again. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I'm going to. There's a couple shades in here that are like not the most perfect for me. There's a green in here that just like I haven't been able to make work. But I don't know. Maybe that was like depression in Oregon and not actually the palette. So yeah. Melt Gemini is my most recent purchase. And I bought it at the end of 2019.
Okay. That was a long time ago. I was like, I don't know. It feels like 10 years ago.
I think I bought it in November.
Okay. Yeah, I remember it was around like the holidays.
I bought a lot of palettes in November.
if you do sell it, I'm probably going to be the one to buy it from you this time.
Okay.
Speaking of olives, you tagged me in this and I bought it maybe 15 minutes later. It is the e.l.f. bite-size eyeshadow palette in hot jalapeno.
That's really cute.
I know.
And was
It
what,
is
like
so,
$3?
it's adorable. It was, yeah, after I used a coupon, it was $3.20, and it has 2 olive shades and then like 1 sparkly olive and then like a gold. It's really simple, and like at the end of the day, I don't think I needed to do like a 12-pan custom olive palette. How many different looks was I really going to do?
I
So
hope that
this
that
was
is
it.
like the perfect thing for you.
I think it will be. So I haven't even tried it yet. I kind of just swatched it, which is like further evidence that like I don't need a 12-pan olive palette. So yeah, mission accomplished.
What's your oldest palette? Second question prompt.
Okay, oldest palette that I still own, because I definitely had palettes that I got rid of. My Lime Crimes. I've since depotted them. They're in a Z palette. But these I bought at the same time, like they came together in the same box. So these are my oldest palettes, Venus 1 and 2.
When did you get those? Do you remember?
Yeah, 2000. Oh, these are old. They're from 2015.
Well, I don't think that's much older than my oldest palettes that are still in my collection.
Yeah.
I should preface
Okay.
this by saying I like really didn't like palettes for a long time and went through a mega phase where I returned, sold, or destashed any palette that like came into my possession. And
Okay.
I was like strictly singles for a long time until
So was I.
this is my
The melt
oldest.
stack.
My first melt stack, it's the Lovesick stack. I bought it. I checked my emails today because I couldn't remember which one I got first. I bought this, I think, January 2016.
Okay. Yeah, I actually wasn't expecting, for some reason, this tag to just like completely out me on how old my makeup is.
Well, we
But here
recorded,
we are.
I don't remember what we talked about the other day. Oh, we were recording how much our face of makeup costs. But I have a
Yeah.
powder from like 2014.
Yeah,
If it looks okay, it works okay, it smells okay, the texture hasn't changed, you're not putting it in your eyeballs, it's probably fine.
I wasn't expecting that to be that old. My,
You
how
can
time
also
flies.
sanitize powder products though. I have like a little dropper and you
Yeah.
can just take, I use 70% rubbing alcohol and probably like once a year, you just put a couple drops and leave the top open so it can dry. Good way to sanitize your products, which you should also always do if you're selling anything. Just FYI.
Yeah, actually, every time I get like somebody else's makeup, I always run my lipsticks and everything through like the alcohol. What is next?
I don't like this question. What's your most expensive palette? I feel attacked.
You want me to go first?
I don't know if that's going to make me feel better or worse. Okay.
I mean, mine's pretty expensive. All right, let's go. You go. Get it out of the way.
So I actually got, I think, did I get any of them on sale? I bought Melt, Vita, Muerte, and Gemini like in the course of the same 6 weeks.
Yes, you did.
I think that there was Black Friday stuff going on. I don't think I paid full price for all of them. However, these puppies are $58 a piece, which is insane.
Yeah, the
I
Melt
use
palettes are
Melt
always...
Vita a lot though.
I love it. It is such a beautiful color story.
I think they do a good job. It's got a couple of like neutral and cool toned browns, which is sort of rare these days.
Yeah.
You've got your like standard warm, like peach, orange, red with a cool, like iridescent, shimmery shade. And then you've got like a hot yellow, a hot green, and a deeper, like shimmer green.
Yeah,
They kind of nailed it. I use this all the time. Okay, so
it's lovely.
How bad is mine compared to yours?
Honestly, not that bad, because my most expensive one is the Viseart neutral mattes, and that was $80.
I
So
forgot you had one of those. I feel better now.
yeah, I was hoping this would make you feel better. But this was one that I did for a really, really long time because this is like literally everything I've ever asked for in a neutral palette, which is just all matte and travel friendly and
I
cool and warm.
really love like an all matte palette.
It's really rare, like shockingly rare for brands to do it. The only other one I had it and I tried to depot it and I just destroyed it was the Juvia's Place one, because that also had a very unique set of matte shades, of neutral matte shades. But yeah, so this is my most expensive. And to make you feel even better, I still have a couple of these on my wish list. I want the brights one. I want the dark mattes. I might want the warm mattes.
See, I don't
I
think
feel
I'll
like
ever
in
buy
a
one.
perfect world, my collection, they're so, I don't know. In a perfect world, my collection consists of like 5 of these and like nothing else.
I think eventually there will come a time where I will buy a Natasha Denona palette, preferably on sale.
Yeah,
But
which
I
they
don't.
are on sale now.
I already just ordered. Oh, I ordered some stuff that we're going to talk about in another episode, so I'm not going to talk about it now. But what's your most affordable palette?
Oh, well, duh. It's this one. It's the Elf jalapeno. But you know what? I don't want to count this one because I feel like this isn't fair because it's a 4-pan little quad. So I'm gonna show off the Sugar Pill Color Pop Smoke Show palette, which I think is now renamed
They changed
something
it to
else.
something like,
It's
and
something,
not a
yeah.
better name.
No, I don't know why they changed it, but either way, I got this one for $9 on Black Friday. Because I really don't have like that many blacks in my collection, and I'm a really big fan of cool tone, so this was like perfect. The shimmer shades in here are actually creamier than the Super Shocks.
Is it all just white, gray, black with various shimmers?
Yeah. Yep. Some of them have like a blue purpley undertone, like this gray right there is definitely like a gray with like a blue twist to it, but definitely still like gray and black. In fact, the pictures for the teasers for this when they were doing like the promo pics, I thought they were showing grayscale images.
Oh, I remember
But
that
they were.
now. And
It
Lime
was like
Crime has something really similar too, right?
they do. I heard that one sucks actually.
That's a bummer.
It was a big bummer because that was actually the one I was gonna get before I got this one. But the reviews for that one were that it was like really patchy and just not like your standard Lime Crime quality. What is your cheapest palette?
Probably the Huda Obsessions. I
Okay.
have 2. I think they're 27 a piece. They're the little
Yeah, they're
9-pan palettes. I love these. They're super travel friendly. I think that they're relatively affordable. I'm not going to pretend like $27 is nothing, but I
yeah,
use them a ton. I think they all have like really cohesive color stories.
I
I
agree.
like that she did a lot of like gemstone and but they're not like monotone the way you
The
think.
color. They're not monotone the way the color pop ones are, which is like the same concept but different. I think she nailed it with the color stories because they're not monotone where like you're not forced into doing the same look every time.
Yeah, like it's cohesive. I have the topaz one and it's got like a deep brown and it's got a really interesting like marigold color. It's got a solid like transition neutral shade, and actually the shimmers are not bad as somebody who doesn't typically use shades like that. So that's probably my
Yeah,
most
agree.
affordable. Also, I'm
Yeah, and you
trying kind of a la Lauren May to not repeat any of my palettes for the answers.
okay. I didn't realize that was a rule, so I will try to as
It's not a
well. But
rule. I'm just going to try to. I don't know if I can because I didn't actually read all the questions before we started recording this.
we just got really excited and started doing this.
Pretty much. We decided today that we were going to record it and are recording it today.
The Huda palette, you have a bunch of them.
I have 2 of the regular Obsessions ones and 2 of the neon, but the neon are actually $2 more. I think it's because they went from cardboard packaging to plastic packaging.
That is such a bummer. I also hate that these stupid ColourPop ones are plastic packaging. I don't know why brands do that.
Yeah, like it looks really cool, but
It does.
the cardboard is recyclable, and this is gonna sit in a landfill forever after I pan it. I don't know. Maybe I can like dig out the thing and use it for something else. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh,
what is
show your everyday palette.
Oh yeah, I skipped one. So hold on a second. I do know, just because I watched Lauren May's video, that there's also a question here asking your most used palette. And
Yeah.
those are not necessarily the same thing for me.
Okay.
I think that my everyday palette, like for work, and if I like need to be out the door quickly, or wait, maybe this is the reverse. Maybe this is my most used palette. I don't know. My everyday thing right now is pretty much Sugar Pill Fun Size.
Same. Yeah, it's I'm gonna jump in and say that is my most used. Oh no, my everyday palette. We're on the everyday.
I don't really have an everyday palette right now. We're in quarantine. I will. I don't know. I don't have an everyday palette right now.
Yeah, I have to agree. So I only have 9 eyeshadow palettes, so there's definitely more than 9 questions, so I cannot not repeat them. So I'm gonna go with my everyday palette is the fun size one, just because I've been on a pastel like crazy train, and when I do like a quick makeup look and I'm like, oh yeah, let me just throw something on real fast, it's always like the pastel green.
I think that's probably my least used shade in here. I'm also going to say Sugar Pill Fun Size, because I often will like dip into one palette for one color and another palette for another color, but most of the time I end up grabbing something out of Sugar Pill Fun Size. It's another one of those cute, small, cardboard, affordable 9-pan. And I think they do a good job of, you've got your purple, you've got your hot pink, you've got red, another one of those yellow marigoldy shades that I freaking love. And then you also have your blues and greens, which I find intimidating, and you're just like, I'm going to throw it on my face.
Yeah, when I'm just like, oh, I need something quick, I just like literally just grab the mint green.
I don't think I've ever used that shade. But the bottom left, that like chartreuse color, what's it called? It's called Continue ? Because they're all named after like video game stuff. I love that color. And the bottom row is definitely my most used. So does Fun Size also go into your most colorful palette, which is the next prompt?
It does not, because I have the Urban Decay Electric. Which, like, if we're talking most colorful from like a saturation standpoint, like this is way more colorful because this is more muted. I often pull them both out if I'm doing something crazy and colorful.
I think that's fair. I'm trying to think what my most colorful is.
Is it Sugar Pill? Is it the Melt ones? Because your Melt Vitas are very colorful.
Yeah. However, I also have Melt Radioactive. And like,
oh yeah.
Does that count as most colorful? It's only 4 shades, but they're like fluorescent.
They're loud.
That's what I'm wearing today. I have, what's the orange? Radon on my eyeballs, which technically you're not supposed to do.
A rebel.
Because it's a not eye safe pigment, so we thought we'd stick 2 of them in an eyeshadow palette. So my most colorful just dropped Fallout all over my iPad.
Oh no.
It's fine.
The Melt Radioactive one is actually one that I've been tempted by a lot, and I know you've been tempted by the palette too.
Well, if you buy my stack, I can buy the palette.
All right, we'll talk about this off screen.
I was thinking of posting it up for sale because I don't use it enough.
Okay, I kind of really want it.
Okay,
I'm gonna buy it for you. Next.
What's your smallest palette?
I thought that was the first one. Oh no, that was a different one. That was newest. I'm sorry. It's the elf one.
In
The
like,
bite size.
do they mean smallest in size or smallest in number of shadows?
I would imagine those go hand in hand.
They don't.
Okay. So yeah, this is my smallest in size. And then I brought this one up here just because I use it more for eyeshadow than face stuff. But the Pat McGrath highlighting palette is only 3 shades.
Oh, it's so pretty.
And you know what? This is a palette tag. It doesn't say eyeshadow palette tag, unless it does. But either way, this is one of them.
I don't know. I think Lauren May said eyeshadow palette. I'm not including my 2 highlighting palettes. I'm gonna go
on the eyes.
So this is probably my like sleekest, if that counts as smallest. And other than the Melt Stacks has the fewest number of eyeshadows, but this is the Marc Jacobs Scandalust.
Oh, yeah.
I bought this in 2017. At the time, it was very expensive. It was like $49. And now I'm like, oh yeah, buy 3 melt palettes a year. It's kind of like neutral. I could see like if my mom wore eyeshadow, I think this is something that she would own.
Yeah.
Eyeshadow is not her jam.
Yeah.
But it's like a very user-friendly, mature, I don't know, like it's very professional looking. It's got a light, a medium brown, a dark brown, and like a burgundy shade and 3 shimmers. It's very, I basically make the same 2 or 3 looks from it. But like when Nick and I went to Italy, this is the eyeshadow palette I took with me.
Yeah. It is definitely like a very professional looking eyeshadow palette.
I don't know if it's still around.
I know those Marc Jacob ones frequently turn up at like TJ Maxx for like $27.50 or something like that. That was very specific of me to say like around $27.50, but I feel like I've picked it up and been like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll get this. They had that blue one there. And I think the mauve one.
I don't know. That was definitely like when they were first released. I think they did like 6 or 8 of them in all different color stories.
Yeah.
I think Scandalous was, at least for me, was by far the best one. Okay. What is your biggest palette?
My biggest palette shade-wise is definitely the Viseart one because it has 12 shades. Size-wise, the Sugar Pill 6-pan one is my biggest one. Oh, this is a colorful one.
Yeah, but those are singles.
Oh, does that count as singles, even though it's like a build your own palette?
Yeah, because you didn't buy it it wasn't sold as a collection.
Okay, I have 8 palettes.
Yeah, I didn't count my Sugar Pill singles.
Yeah, okay, I forgot that they're in a palette, so they tricked me. I will then say just the Viseart one is my biggest one because it's a 12 pan, and then size-wise, compared to all of them, I think it is the biggest one. Wow, I only have tiny palettes. Those Melt eyeshadow palettes, as much as I love them, are like full-blown gondolas.
I'm holding up Melt Muerte. They are the largest by far. They have 10 shades, which, yeah, that's the most number of eyeshadows I have in any of my palettes, but also they're very long.
They're like annoyingly long.
This is a great color story though.
Beautiful.
It has like some blue, teal, greens, and some really deep shades, and then you get into some reds. It stumps me a bit. I'm glad I bought it. I think it pushes me out of my comfort zone. But between being really unhappy in Oregon and moving and now being in quarantine, I really haven't used it that much yet.
Yeah. I know you said you were afraid of the blues in the fun size palette. Do you use the blues in the Muerte palette?
I've used these 3. It's like a dark green, like a blue green, and then there's like an aqua and a glittery aqua. I've used those. I haven't used like the full navy blue yet. Maybe I'll do that for next time we record and I'll challenge myself.
The next one is, what is your palette with the best memory? Do you have one for that?
I feel like I have a really vain question or like response to that.
Go for it.
Or do it. I don't. No, I think it's probably taking Marc Jacobs Scandalust, and this
Okay.
is what I used when Nick and I were in Italy, and that's a really nice memory.
That's cute.
When I was like, I'm gonna try to bring less makeup when I travel. I think all I brought that trip was Melt Dark Matter and this, and I use this constantly. I actually don't use this that often anymore, the Marc Jacobs palette, but I also can't bring myself to get rid of it. So I think that's probably what's most associated with the best memories. Do you have a palette with the best memory?
Honestly, there's not really like, this is gonna sound really dumb, but like I don't remember the makeup I was wearing for like fun events.
Wedding?
I went with like single shadows and glitter toppers.
Did you do your own makeup?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Thanks. But yeah, I don't really have like I don't have sad memories with makeup either, but like I don't really have like.
Okay, did you pack any makeup when you were in labor in the hospital?
No.
Good. Just checking. But I thought if you had, I'm like, well, that would be a good memory, even if you didn't use it.
I did do my eyebrows before I left to go.
I love you so much. Yeah, I don't really have any bad memories associated with palettes, but am I frozen? Unfrozen now.
Ooh.
A palette worth the hype. Or no, sorry, you had something else to say.
Yeah, I wanted to add, if I have to pick a palette for like good memories, I'll just do the Lime Crime one because it's my oldest one, and it was like the first palette that I bought with like intention and like ended up suiting me.
Were you still in college?
No.
Yeah, I had like no important good makeup in college.
No, me neither.
Okay, show a palette worth the hype.
Go.
That you can still get?
Is that like?
No, I'm thinking that I can still get. I think the Huda Neon palettes are awesome. I use them a lot. So I have the Neon Orange.
Yeah.
Actually doesn't have a true bright orange in it. It has like a pastel orange.
It's weird, but okay.
But nevertheless, I use it all the time. Mostly for the really good purple that's in there.
Yeah, okay.
And then I have the Neon Pink, which also has a lot of purple in it. But I think that she does a good job of those color stories. Like it has a light pink, like a light coral, a bright purple, a light purple, a hot pink, and then like 4 shimmer shades, which I almost never use. But I think the mattes are really great.
The shimmers looked really pretty when you held them up.
I think that they're worth the hype. I think for $29, it's hard to beat, especially if you don't want an all matte palette. Because like if you want something colorful and affordable, I'd say Sugar Pill Fun Size. But if you want the shimmers and the glitters, Huda Neon worth the hype.
My obvious worth the hype is going to be the Fun Size.
It's just so good.
It's so good. It's pigmented. It is colorful. I have no criticism of it. It's in cardboard
Sugar Pill,
packaging.
sponsor us.
Matte. I could go on forever.
Sugar Pill, if you're listening, sponsor us.
Show a palette not worth the hype? I'm sorry, I only have good palettes.
Yeah, I've sold or destashed everything.
I
can make people mad.
I will answer this one, and then let you make everybody angry.
Okay.
Actually, there was no hype around it. That was dumb. I had this is my single shadows, but I had the Too Faced glitter palette up there and the KVD Alchemist palette down here. And I will say neither of those were worth the hype.
I like the Alchemist palette.
Admittedly,
I'm not including it in this because I only use it as highlighter for the most part.
Okay.
I got it on sale for $10.
Yeah.
And I used the same 2 shades over and over again.
I paid full price for it, and I tried to use it as like eyeshadow toppers the way it was like advertised originally, and I don't think it suits me, and it definitely doesn't suit me for highlighter shades. And you may now be wondering, but why do you still have it? And I don't know.
It was advertised as eyeshadow topper, is what I was thinking.
Yeah, so when they first like ran the ads and campaigns for it, they had people put like black eyeshadow on and like run the toppers over it, and it was like magically transforms your eyeshadow into
Wow, I
all these
like blocked
crazy
that out of my memory.
colors. What was your I'm gonna make everybody angry palette?
Modern Renaissance.
Ah.
I bought it, I used it, I returned it. I waited about a year. I bought it again. I used it for a little while, and then I sold it to my sister, and I don't know. I don't think it's as crazy. Like, that it's still selling like crazy is wild to me.
The Pat McGrath Mothership 5 palette I also bought and returned, and that was not worth the hype.
I don't own anything that isn't worth the hype.
Agreed.
Because other than the melt palettes that they came out with for the holidays that were already at Sephora, I don't really buy things because of, well, I didn't buy it because of hype, but like, I don't really buy popular stuff that much. I buy stuff that I like.
Yeah, we both lament and research for years until something's no longer popular and then finally decide to buy it.
I think the Melt Vita and Muerte palettes are the fastest I've ever bought a palette, wherein like it's launching and I'm buying it. I don't ever do that.
I don't know if I've really ever done that. That's exciting. Was it fun?
Yeah. It was stressful.
Show your favorite palette from a favorite brand. 1, 2, 3. Should we do it?
Is it fun size? I don't know. I guess this is also goes into my most used palette, but look at those indentations.
Oh yeah.
This is the Melt Dark Matter stack.
Okay.
Which I would say when I'm working full time and going into an office is my everyday.
Yeah.
But I bought this shortly after the Lovesick stack, early 2016, and I used it so much that I actually have a backup of Blur.
Wow.
Because this is all that's left.
I wasn't expecting that. Okay. I wasn't sure if Melt or Sugar Pill would be your favorite. I had a feeling it would be one of the two, but I wasn't sure which one it would be.
Okay, so I have 14 stacks and palettes.
Yeah.
8 of them are Melt.
Right.
I know what I like.
Yes, you do.
I'm painfully consistent. Nick makes fun of me all the time.
And the other 4 are Huda, and then the 2 remaining.
Yeah, I have 1 Sugar Pill and 1 Marc Jacobs.
Yeah, I love that. I honestly thought you had more palettes than you do.
Is that good or bad? That I have less.
Responsible.
And I like don't hold on to them. I think if by this time next year I haven't used them a ton, Gemini and Muerte I will absolutely sell.
Oh my God, I'm gonna buy them.
If I don't use it, like I'm trying to give things a full year. Yeah. And like sometimes I buy stuff because it's new and it looks great, but like isn't the appropriate time for me. Like Vita came out in November, but I'm gonna use the shit out of this come summer.
Oh hell yeah.
But I didn't really use Muerte this winter because I was in the middle of moving in a horrible depression, and I'm not using it now.
Yeah.
Because we're all stuck inside. So like if this doesn't get love by the end of the year, I'm not going to keep it in my collection. Yeah.
As much as it pains me to see you get rid of it, I'll buy it from you.
I think you'll be okay.
I think I'll be okay. Goes without saying, my favorite palette is the Sugar Pill.
No, your most used palette.
Oh, I think it's still this one.
Oh, sorry. Yes, there was your favorite palette from a favorite brand, and then your most used palette. I just kind of shoved them together.
I think it is the Sugar Pill one. Like I said, even like in quarantine and like when I was still working in an office, I guess it's just my field because as a designer, like I feel like there's a few less rules when it comes to how we should look. So I kind of always gravitated towards doing crazy stuff and like pushing the limits of like, is this okay? And I always gravitated towards fun colors. Before I had this one, I would always go towards the electric one. And I kind of always stay in the realm of colors, which is why when I wanted a neutral palette, I went for like mattes and like true neutral. So yeah, favorite Sugar Pill.
I think right now, Sugar Pill Fun Size is probably my most used palette.
Do you have a least used? Was that a question?
It wasn't, but we should make it one. What's your least
Let's
used?
make that one. The Smoke Show palette. Where am I going? That I need like an all smoky eye. Like I understand that that's a ridiculous question, having now said that my favorite thing to do is like pop mint green on my eye. Like, where am I going? But like this one, for some reason, it makes me feel like I need to be going somewhere to wear like a smoky kind of gray look. And I just haven't been feeling it. It's also, it was just winter and I didn't wear it. I don't know. I love the idea of this one, but I haven't used it yet. I'm going to hang on to this forever though, because it was $9.
Well, here's a thought for you. Next time you're doing your makeup, pair it with the Sugar Pill Fun Size and just deepen some of those shades.
That's actually a really good idea.
I do think Smoke Show is a bit intense as its own thing. That's definitely like a evening smoky eye thing.
And I did buy it to be like specifically a companion palette to be like, oh, these are my blacks and my grays, but like I just haven't been using it. I don't know. I'm going to do the same thing you're doing with the Myrte and Gemini, but instead of selling it, I'll keep it forever. What's your least used?
Probably Melt Radioactive. Before today, I honestly can't remember the last time that I used it.
Yeah. That's a hard one too, because that's like extremely bright.
I actually, when I first got it, the hot pink shade Radioactive, I used constantly with Sugar Pill Poison Plum, which is like a deep purple, and Sugar Pill Lumi, which is like an iridescent. Is there any way for me to show this on camera without spilling it everywhere? It's like this iridescent. It's not going to show up.
Oh, that's the lid. Oh my God, you're terrifying me. Watch it. Put it on your arm.
Yeah, I'll swatch it. But I would put that in like the front half of my eye. The Lumi. Can you?
Yeah. Lumi is like one of those classic shades that I feel like every single beauty guru at some point has been like, Sugar Pill Lumi, we're going to add that to the lid. Oh, it's pretty.
Samantha Ravindal made me buy it.
I had a feeling.
I've had it for years though. Actually, I remember this is around the same time that I started using the Tatcha cleansing oil. I had like a mini size of it that I was testing on vacation to Florida, visiting my grandma, and a friend of mine from elementary school was there. And so like we were meeting up to go out, and I remember doing my makeup with Sugar Pill, Poison Plum, and the Radioactive stack and this. And
wow.
I gotta find a picture. There's definitely a picture of it on my Instagram. But anyway, these days, I think the Radioactive stack is my least used. Like, probably by a lot.
I will happily liberate that from you.
I also have two that didn't get mentioned at all.
Oh. She's in Parties.
Nope, sold that one.
Oh, okay.
I have the Melt Rust stack.
That one, for some reason, always looks prettier to me than the, what is the other one? The one that you've used the hell out of?
Dark Matter?
Yeah.
Well, this one's a lot more like warm neutrals where like you want to drink pumpkin spice lattes and like sit by a campfire. Dark Matter is like all business. And then the other one is the Baby Girl stack.
Oh, I forgot you had that one. That one's nice.
I wore this a lot to work too.
Yeah.
But this one's more like, I definitely felt like it was more pink when it was coming out, which is why I jumped on buying it, but it actually leans a bit more orange, which like is fine. Not mad about it. This shade called Scammin' is this really lovely, like light pink, salmon-y color. I don't know. I think they do a good job. I kind of wish the radioactive formula was a bit more like this one, which is kind of why I'm curious about the palette.
The palette. That was fun. I love talking about eyeshadow.
That was fun. That was a lot of, I feel very exposed.
You do, but your expensive eyeshadows were not nearly as bad as you thought they'd be.
That's true. I'm glad that you have more expensive eyeshadows than I do.
And that I want even more of them too.
I've decided for sure I'm not going to buy the Melt 420 palette.
Okay, I support you 100% because honestly, if you look at all of your Melt stuff you have already, I'm pretty sure you have all those shades.
Between Melt and Sugar Pill, I'm like for sure covered. And the 3 or 4 colors that I actually cared about in 420 are the ones that I absolutely have like close enough.
Yeah, the ones that I wanted from that was like literally the green and like yellow.
Yeah, that's what I wanted too. But they're between Vita and Sugar Pill, like I'm good. I think I might have to revisit my Desire for Melt Radioactive palette. Otherwise, there's not any eyeshadow on my radar right now.
No, me neither. I mean, I'll always perpetually want to make my collection, like I want to slowly transition my collection to a bunch of Viseart palettes. But that's not something that like I'm really jumping to do because I did just have a Sephora gift card and like that wasn't even on my mind. So I think that's like over time I'm gonna do it. Maybe like once a year I'll buy myself one or something. But
Black Friday.
No rush. I was thinking that. No rush. And I almost bought a Natasha Denona because it was on super sale for like $65.
I really like the idea of their palettes, but every time I look at the swatches, I'm like, no, not right. By the way, that's a trick. If you're looking at an eyeshadow palette and you're like, oh my God, I want it, go look at the swatches.
Also, look through the shades that you already have. And if you have like more than half of the shades already, maybe consider getting the ones that you do want in like single shadows or something else too. Because that's something else that stops me from getting a lot of palettes. Like the 420 one I really wanted, but like I'm looking through the more neutrally ones. I was like, you know what? I have a lot of these. I really only want 3 shades in this.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Ooh, there's also accounts that rearrange all of the shadows in like rainbowy orders that make more sense than like the palette is. And those usually help too.
Yeah, there's one of the Natasha Denona palettes. Was it the Safari one?
Yeah, I sent it to you
earlier. It got rearranged. I love the idea of it, and every time I look at the swatches, I'm like, this is so not for me.
Yeah, I didn't get it either. It's just like not, I don't know, it wasn't at the, something about it is stopping me from getting it.
Yeah, if it's not quite right, don't buy it. You probably already own the right thing for you.
Right? Like I look at my collection and it's kind of full. Like there's no palettes coming out that I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't have that. I don't even have that many palettes. I have 8 palettes. I have like 2 rainbow ones, an all black one, a neutral one. Like what else could I possibly, and then the Venus ones are like grungy, cranberry, like mauvies.
I have my Melt stacks. This is all of it.
I love them.
And then I have 5 small palettes and then the 3 big Melt ones. That's my makeup collection.
Yeah, it's a happy family. We don't need more yet until something like spectacular comes out.
That was a fun tag.
Mm-hmm.
And we can turn it into an educated consumerism lesson by telling you to shop your stash, look at what you already have, check the swatches, and don't buy things that are limited edition, and stick to your budget. Says
definitely stick to your budget.
About to buy the Melt Radioactive palette.
I was going to say, says the woman who bought the Vita and Muerte the day it was released.
I did not buy them the day they were released.
But that was a calculated.
I bought Vita and then I waited until I had a coupon. Like I bought Vita from Melt and then I waited until I had like $20 off or something and bought Muerte from Sephora.
Okay, fine.
All right, that's all the things. If you made it this far, comment, reply, send us a message. Tell us what your favorite or most used palette is. Tell us one that you think is totally worth the hype. Tell us one that you think is not worth the hype.
Trash talk some palettes with
Yeah,
us.
trash talk with us. And also don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube and say nice things about us on Facebook. Beauty Birds Podcast. That's it. We're out. See you
Bye.
next week. Bye.